imagine that?
He looks a lot slimmer on EastEnders. They must have recorded that last year.
Thanks.
They recorded that before the Easter eggs took hold. That's all right, I'm in the same boat, don't worry. We're all straining out here. Buttons are going to ping all night long. Casey looks lovely, thank you. Look, doesn't she look gorgeous?
Yes.
You look good. She scrubs up so nicely, doesn't she? I used to only fancy Cat, but now I'll take both sisters. OK, so that's already, you know, we could do a whole show with those guys, because that's the hottest storyline on the most popular soap in the country at the moment, and they're here tonight, which is fantastic. But we have more guests for you.
OK, his new series started last night. He's an investigative journalist, and his name is Mr. Donald McIntyre.
Donald McIntyre. He's out of the undercover business. And you can see from his face, he's already regretting saying yes to this show. You see that disguise he had on?
Yeah.
That was one of the better ones.
It was, yeah.
OK, so there you go. We have a packed show, but there's more. Here we go. Who else?
Third up, stand-up comedian, writer and director, also an actor. His name is Mr. Peter Kay.
Peter Kay, one of the best stand-ups in the country. Oh, there you go.
Funny man.
OK. So by now, most people on a talk show would say that's more than enough quality. We don't need any more. We're squeezing something else in for you. Who do we have?
OK, singing live. The rumour is their single will go to #1 this weekend. They are the Sugar Babes.
The Sugar Babies.
Something for the whole family there.
Never mind the whole family. I know what I'm going on with. Me and Peter Kay. But look, those girls are all about 12. What's going on? Are they allowed out this late? There you go. It's a packed show. Before we get to that, let me just spend some time telling you about this, because there was a survey that caught my eye in the newspapers. Okay. A survey this week that highlighted the increasingly bizarre names that parents are calling their children. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ross, aren't your kids called something peculiar? Well, no, ladies and gentlemen. Harvey, Honey and Betty. Fairly normal name, certainly for Hampstead. Where, by the way, there was a kid round the corner I once heard being called by his parents. His name was Zeus. He was running for the road, said, "Stop, Zeus!" No one's going to stop someone called Zeus. But there are some very strange names out there, according to this survey. Here are some which are genuine names. Atom, Sincerity, Morpheus, and Maverick. Now, they're all perfectly acceptable if your kids are going to grow up to be either a Gladiator or a Ford car. 72 names, according to this survey, 72 kids, according to this survey, were called Sky, although, to be fair, half of them had recently changed their name from ITV Digital. Suddenly got a bit hot in there.
Yeah, winded.
5 were called Dung. That's just child abuse. And then there's Famous. Andy, can you imagine being famous? Food is a big thing on the name in front, apparently.
Is it?
Apparently so. Not sexy Italian names like ciabatta or focaccia. There's a child out there, genuinely, who has been named by his or her parents Veal. 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 You can't call Veal. I'm just going to drop Veal off. No, don't drop Veal off. Would the children like to come over and play with Veal? No, certainly not. We have our own meat-based toys. Veal, if I'm not mistaken, that's a baby calf raised in conditions that are both cruel and delicious. Shall we get our first guest out, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah. Before we do that, let's remind everyone of the recent dramatic moment.
Would you answer my first question simply with a yes or no? Have you reached a verdict on which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the defendant, Maureen Morgan, guilty or not guilty of attempted murder?
Guilty.
No! No!
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. You know them as Mo and Trevor. It is, of course, Casey and Alex from EastEnders.
Talk about a tree, you look for you have a GMP. Rest is style, brand new time, father's open cry.
Hello, it's gorgeous.
Old Iron, old Iron. La 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 la. Three for the haircut. 2 bob.
No, you sit there, Casey. You can sit over there. I don't want him near me.
Sit back way over there.
I'm scared. I'll be honest, I'm scared of you.
Yeah, I'll sit over here. I'm so overweight, I'll just sit here. So.
You're not that fat. You just look a bit rounder than I
I
imagine.
know, I am. I'm round. I think.
Although there is a kind of space hopper vibe coming off you right now. Hey, let's remind ourselves of how your character got into that position in the first place, because this was a hugely dramatic moment as well when she finally stood up on camera to Trevor for the first time with the iron. Do you mind us showing this?
Yeah,
bit?
no, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. This is Mo when she finally decks Trevor.
You think you're gonna change? Huh? You think you can end it? Well, you're wrong. You wanna know why? Because you're never gonna change.
I love the drums coming in.
I know, yeah.
I kind of
Dodgy electronic drums.
don't you want the drums to follow you around in life when something happens, like you miss the bus? Or you go in and they give you the wrong change in a shop and you want to look around, boom, boom. But you know what's so nice about that is not only to see Mo standing up for herself on
Yeah.
TV, but also it's so nice to see a woman with an iron in her hand.
It's especially
The
nice.
only thing is, she should be barefoot and naked in the kitchen. That's it.
Ideally,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
sir.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I.
But you know, I wasn't sure whether we should show that clip because it's out of context. It seems even more gruesome.
Yeah.
Somehow. So I thought, if you don't mind, we lighten it up a bit,
Do it.
and maybe we'd show this one instead.
Okay.
You see, now it's a comedy.
I did want to use one of those Vic and Bob frying pans. I wanted to do one of those with a big noise on it, but they just wouldn't have it, you know,
But
at the time.
I guess it must be hard when you're shooting a scene like that to get yourself in the right frame of mind, because you obviously get on very well away from EastEnders.
Yeah.
And yet to get the stage where you basically are this character who's in this weird relationship where you kind of want to be with her but hate her at the same time, and presumably hate a lot of people. It must be hard for you to get into that frame of mind, isn't it?
Not really. I find it quite easy. No, I think it's... well, I do tend to go into Trevor mode about 5 minutes before we start shooting, so I'd say that's probably, you know, I go into some other kind of stratosphere. You know.
And presumably people, when they meet you out socially or if they see you, people you don't know too well, presumably they react initially as if you are Trevor. I mean, they can't like you a lot.
Well, they don't. It was weird. When I was running the marathon, people were shouting odd things at me, and someone shouted. There was this old granny standing there with a wee boy, and I was running past, and I had my name written on my shirt, and it just said Alex. She said, Alex, and I looked up the window, and she went, that's him. That's that little shit right there, son. And the little boy will start to tell me. So I just carried on running past, you know. But she phoned up the hospice, which I'm, you know, the charity, and said, I'm really sorry, I shouted something terrible. Can I give £500? So it ended up...
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you know, because you ran the marathon for charity, which was a lovely thing to do. But am I right in thinking you used to be in the army in South Africa?
I was in the army for 2 years, yeah.
So you've been a fit guy in your life.
I was very fit. I mean, that's what I kept saying to... I kept saying to myself more than anybody, you know, when I was 18, I used to run my Bergen pack and a rifle and all that, and I used to be able to do this, and, you know, without any, you know, without breaking a sweat. Really.
And yet, at the marathon, I believe you were beaten by Charlie Dimmock.
I was beat by Charlie Dimmock. That was my goal. Don't be beaten by Charlie Dimmock. And as I was running along, I hooked up with this guy. He says, there's a lot of celebs behind you, including Charlie Dimmock. And that was like, yes, I'm doing it. But
That's always the incentive, because I did the marathon in 2000, and you've always got someone in front of you who's got one leg or something like that, and you're always saying to the person you're running with, look, the person with one leg's beating us. And I was running with my boyfriend's sister, and at the end of it, she said, I couldn't give an F what the person in front's got, whether they got no legs at all. I'm not running anymore.
Although if they had no legs in front, you'd stop just to watch, wouldn't you?
You would.
Oh, yeah, I'd get my video camera out. And how about Mo? How do people react to, you know, with the idea that you're Mo? How do they respond to you?
Oh, they're always really lovely. I get people, you know, coming up and giving me loads of advice and cuddles, and I get things through the post, you know, like teddy bears and all that sort of stuff, which is really weird. But it's funny you saying about the ironing, because I don't actually do my own ironing. I don't do anything at home at all, so it was a real shocker when my boyfriend saw me with the iron, because he was more shocked than anyone else.
Hey, now, so you are actually an EastEnder. You're from Walthamstow in East London, I believe.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And your boyfriend you with now, he's also an EastEnder?
Yeah, his whole family, yeah, they're all EastEnders.
And he's just a regular guy, he's a plumber, is that correct?
I know, yeah, people are always really surprised by that. I don't know whether they think that, you know, should be going out with a celebrity or something, and they always think it's right, makes you real down to earth if you're going out with a plumber or something.
Okay, I read this thing in a magazine about how years ago when you guys, you caught him cheating once on you.
I did, yeah. I caught him in the back of a Cortina with another band.
Excuse me.
Cortina?
Excuse me, but how working class is that? In the back of a Cortina?
His tools were in the back as well.
No, it's even more working class than that, because it had different coloured doors and a different...
You know, if only it was up on breeze blocks, it would be the perfect story.
It wasn't even his Cortina, so
No,
he was
what-
even borrowing the Cortina.
How can you borrow a
right.
Cortina for a shag?
Exactly, it's not exactly a
But
shag
that's in the past and that's gone. and you're
yeah,
happy
that
now.
was in the past, but he has completely different ideas about what happened. He reckons that we'd already split up by this point, so therefore he was completely allowed to do what he was doing. But I said, I think the timing's a bit wrong.
So he thinks you were on a break.
He thought we were on the break.
We've heard this
That's it,
storyline.
Yes.
So many times.
Okay, who's it who plays Cat in the show?
Jessie Wallace.
Man, I'd like to bang her. Not in real life, but you know when you're watching the show. You know when you're watching the show. Don't you think that when you're watching the show? No. I used to think that way about Miss Diane on Crossroads.
It's all gone downhill, mate.
This show gets more like Parky every night. Hey, listen, it was such a pleasure. I so appreciate you coming on, because I know
It's
you're
all right.
busy, and, you know, it's a terrific show, as I'm sure you're aware, but you guys are really making it so watchable and so much better at the moment. So I thank you for finding time to come on tonight, and keep up the great work, because really, you know, it's the nation's favourite soap. It deserves to be.
Thank you.
Thank you both for coming on. It's
Cheers.
Casey and Alex, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Weren't they great?
Yes.
And it is a great show, man. That's a great story. Yeah, it is a good story, isn't it? They're clapping him for finally finishing the marathon. Actually being beaten by Charlie Dimmer. Am I the only person in the country who needs neither pill nor potion to pleasure a lady? You're off again. Just my God-given love gifts. I'll tell you why I'm thinking about this. I saw this story, ladies and gentlemen, in the papers. Ozzy Osbourne admits to taking 15 Viagra a day. Now, I've spoken to his wife. It's not for the sex. She's run out of space for drying towels. Actually, Ozzy is on the show in 2 weeks' time, ladies and gentlemen. We're not on next week, but when we're back, we've got Ozzy Osbourne on. He's on with Sir John Mills. Apparently, they won't go anywhere unless they're together. Ozzy's on the show in a couple of weeks' time, and, you know, he's ordered a limo to get here, and he's insisted that the sunroof be open all the way. It's the only way we can get him in. We've had to widen the doors. Now, even 15 Viagra aren't enough for the Germans, who've developed an anti-impotence cream. Have a look at this headline. Normal men, and I find this astonishing, can apparently perform only once every 19 minutes. 19 minutes? In that time, I've done the Cause, the Nolans, and Sister Wendy Beckett. Oh, that'd be useful for you, Andy.
Would it?
Because once you've pleasured the lady, it would give you enough time to find your checkbook.
Oh, thank you. See, that's
Come on,
no.
I bet you've paid for sex.
No, I haven't.
What, you mean you do it and then run away without paying the lady? You're even more of a cad than I thought. Of course you haven't. I'm just, you know, we're just joking. But now, according to this thing, they've got this cream that the Germans developed called Caber-Golin. I assume that's named Golin after the drug company and Caber after the huge wooden pole in your pants when you have it. It turns the man from a single-shot pistol to a Gatling gun of love. But one volunteer, when they did the tests, apparently orgasmed twice in 2 minutes. Then managed a third 7 minutes later. Sweet Nelly Furtado, he must have been shooting steam. Be like a kettle when you boiled it dry and you're damaging the element. Nothing. What's the point of that? Where's the fun in that? Incidentally, if you're wondering what a man on his third orgasm in 9 minutes looks like, I have a suggestion. Here's the picture of Michael Burke at the BAFTAs this week. think you must be into double figures there. Look at that. Shall we get our second guest on, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Okay, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's one of the most exciting and bold television shows in recent years. He's been undercover. We brought him out for you this evening. Donald McIntyre. Donald, how are you? Grab a seat next to Andy. Donald, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Great to be here.
I am really delighted you're on the programme, really, because I so loved the last series you did. The new series has kicked in now. I saw the first one the other night. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. But first of all, though, is it dangerous for you to be out here? Because aren't there people who had put a price on your head, or people who just wanted to settle scores with you?
It does get a bit hairy. Not quite as hairy as in the green room in there, you know, and you have to deal with death threats and things like that, and live in safe houses. And in between that, you try and lead a normal life. So it does get a bit hairy and serious.
I'm not so much worried about you, but by us being near you, are we?
Well, the thing about it is that the only reason why I entered this kind of work is I used to be Jonathan's researcher.
Well, there was one show I worked on, which was a documentary I made about the lottery. And Donald worked on that, didn't you?
Well, it was a great time, because we got a bit of travelling done.
I enjoyed it. I went up to Spain and I almost got picked up by a man in a gay disco. But I didn't realise it was a gay disco. I was drinking and there was this guy talking to me, and I said to the director, "What does he want?" He said he wants to sleep with you. I said, "How can that be? He's dressed so boringly. He looks like a Spanish accountant. He can't be gay. He's wearing those shoes that look like Cornish pasties. If I'm going to give up my gay cherry to someone, it's not going to be a bloke dressed like a banker in Spain. He'll be a good-looking, robust young fella with big pectorals, not unlike yourself."
Thank you very much.
Which brings us neatly to your gay following. Because you're a big hit on the gay websites.
Well, I did. I obviously wasn't cruising the gay website, but a mate of mine did point out that for 1 week, when they were short of gay icons, I was man you'd most want to wrestle with.
Now, this was after there was that Radio Times cover where you stripped and you were looking moody. I saw you looking moody, showing where you hid your equipment. There it is. Look at that. No wonder they went for you. What was it about you they thought, here's a guy who we can disguise, who we can put undercover, who will be able to infiltrate other groups? I mean, what was the first case that you moved into like that?
Well, I think they decided that because I had a kind of bland, forgettable face, they could probably have some longevity, and they used me. Well, I mean, they suggested that I'd go undercover as a football hooligan. Now, obviously, I'm Irish and I don't fit a profile for football hooligan, but so I had to get a tattoo and say pretty much as little as possible.
But you see, because I sometimes think, and don't take this the wrong way, Donald, but I sometimes think you're the wrong guy for the job.
You're absolutely right.
Because I remember when you got the tattoo for Chelsea. Well, I have the clip. Can I show the clip of you getting a tattoo? Because I had a tattoo. And a tattoo's no big deal.
Really?
I had a tattoo. I was in and out in 10 minutes. It didn't bother me. It was like a small fly buzzing on my arm. I brushed it off. I got on with my life. Most men do. Most tattooed fellas, they don't even know they're being tattooed. They go home and say, "What's that? I didn't feel anything."
It killed me.
But Donald, have a look at this.
There is no way I could be accepted as a hooligan without a tattoo. With one, I'd be proper Chelsea.
Not feeling so good, this guy.
No, I'm feeling well.
Much to my embarrassment, I pass out on the counter. But the job had to be completed. Nothing would give me away faster than a half-finished tattoo.
Can I speak on behalf of the nation? You big girl's blouse.
I'm a wimp.
Well, we're joking about this, but you do put yourself in the firing line there. You are in dangerous situations. Now, the one that went out last night, the one about you looked at street crime and mugging, okay? And once again, you know, I really respect and admire what you do, but sometimes you're rubbish. Because it took you 4 days to get mugged in Brixton.
3 days.
What, 3 days to get mugged in Brixton?
That's because...
And that's trying. You were trying to get mugged. And he was walking around with his mobile phone like that. No one was mugging him. They've got the wrong man for the
It's
job.
because there were so many good Samaritans there. They kept telling me, be careful, and it's a wonderful thing there.
But you see, that's the thing. I watched the show thinking it's about street crime. I went to bed feeling reassured.
That's wonderful. wonderful.
Things aren't so bad after all. You're obviously a well-educated. You seem like a very nice man. Okay, I think maybe a bit too nice. Because when you were talking to the mugger and he was saying, "Why didn't you hit that guy who stumbled?" and you said, "Well, he ran like the wind." No one talks like that in Brixton. And when they took the thing, you went, "They've stolen my phone. They've stolen my phone." Now, what people would really shout is,
Actually,
"They've stolen my phone. Help! Will you help me? For sake, that has stolen my phone." No one would say, he ran like the wind. It doesn't happen. Hey, next week's show, it's an undercover drugs thing, is that right? What are you investigating in next
it's
week?
about methamphetamine, which I think people feel pose a threat to society here, like crack cocaine did in the late 80s and early 90s.
Presumably, there was a chance you could have actually come to some physical harm.
Well, we were over in Burma, and the Burmese military involved in supply and trafficking of drugs, and at some stages they were shooting, but at that stage I'd spent about 7 hours trying to get to the location to see where the poppy fields were growing that I was so tired and exhausted. I didn't care if they shot me. In fact, I was so hungry and so tired, and I'd rather they shot me. It was so tired,
That worked in your favour, presumably, then? The fact that you were so exhausted?
Well, I couldn't care less where the bullets were going. It was just, I was cowering. I'm not a hard man. I'm just a bloke pretending to be hard. I was cowering pathetically behind a bush.
We know you're not hard. We've seen you getting a Chelsea tattoo. Okay, we have a clip of you. This is you driving into a camp or something, and this is the training method, the training process. Who are the guys who are pretending to be the bad guys?
Well, they're kind of ex-SAS guys, really serious guys.
So these guys are genuinely hard men.
They know what's going on.
These guys are tattooed all over.
Nearly, yeah.
They've had tattoos done with no ink in the pen. That's how. Just for the buzz. Let's have a look at this clip. This is Donald in training for the show, which you can see here on BBC One next week.
And slow right down. Slow right down. Make sure the doors are locked. Smile, maybe wave. Keep waving. Hi. How you doing?
Wait.
Hey. Go. Hey. Come. Hey. What were you doing?
If I'd panicked like that in the jungle, I'd have been shot by now.
With papers.
From the BBC.
With BBC.
Papers.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Hi, with the BBC.
As well as nearly getting us killed, I've left the keys in the ignition. I've just lost the car and all its contents.
Frankly, I'm amazed you're still alive.
I'm a terrible secret agent, haven't I?
You're like Clouseau. How have you survived? I'm glad you have, but
I am pretty pathetic.
Hey, and so, but joking aside, what's it like day to day? Because I think the shows are terrific, and I'm really pleased they're being made. It's a kind of investigative journalism which is exciting and it's necessary, and it really does make a difference, does it not?
Well, I hope so, and I think overall it does, yeah.
But what's it like for you? Have you sacrificed a large part of your real life for this?
Well, it's very strange because, coming from Ireland to where everybody knows everything about you and you spend your whole time befriending your neighbours and everything, you come here and you live in a safe house and you're desperately avoiding your neighbours, and you're hiding from them and you're desperate that they'll make an association, they'll see some of the trails. And if they do, I'm desperately afraid now that over the next couple of weeks that neighbours will start to recognise me and pass information on.
Let me advise you, to stay low, don't go on any talk shows. Don't do any unnecessary television performances.
Dangerous.
Hey, listen, it's a genuine pleasure to meet you properly. I know we work together.
But researchers, and I was a terrible researcher. For all those mistakes, I'm genuinely sorry.
But no, joking aside, I'm so pleased you came on the show because I'm a big admirer of the programmes, a big admirer of you, and I'm sure the people who watch the show feel the same way as well. Thanks for coming on. Donald McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Donald. We should keep an eye on him because, at one time there was a reward out for him. Was there? And I'm just worried because we got Mo back there with the iron. Yeah. Come on, just finish him off.
Oh, the sugar babies. The sugar babies were still there.
Are the sugar babies still awake? Can we have a look? Are they still up? Yeah. It's way past their bedtime. Do you remember that other single they had that was big?
Yeah.
The one-way ticket to the destination. And this is how the kids dance these days.
Michael Burke.
I can do that. When they're out here singing, why don't we go behind them and do a bit of breakdancing? Because he's got the Gary Newman thing going. He does. I could do a bit of my popping. And I tell you, They might want to take us home. To meet their dads. Yeah. Who are probably younger than us. Shall we get on with it? Yes. Okay, let's get our final guest out. Ladies and gentlemen, he is one of the finest stand-up comedians in the country.
Very funny man.
I've never seen him live, but I've been told that. But his TV work I've always admired and enjoyed fully. He is Mr. Peter Kay. Here he is. Evening, Peter.
Hello.
Hello.
You're not singing for me.
No, I don't think so. You've got the music.
You're not singing for me. Hello. Hello.
Would you,
Hello.
Come and sit down, Peter. Would you like the fellas to sing for you? You seem
Yeah, I won't
disappointed.
mind. Can they, you know,
Well, okay,
sum
let's
it
see if
up.
they can do a request for you.
Man-child, Paula Abdul. White Lines Don't Do It. Rock Me Amadeus, Falco. Wrong genre. Rabbit, Chaz and Dave. What do you want to do?
Dancing Queen.
Copacabana, I Will Survive.
Look at it.
Which one? No, I can't stand that. It reminds me of a wedding. Do Copacabana. You know it? That's it. You got it? Yeah. No! Let's do something from Kids from Fame. Star Maker. Do you know Star Maker? Do you know any Kids from Fame, Jonathan?
You know what? I'm not even paying attention. I've got my Game Boy out. Come on over, Peter.
Come on
Thank
over.
you, fellas. Come
Enough
on
of this chaos.
Come on, join us. Thank you. And by the way, fellas, well done. They were doing well then. They were keeping up with your mercurial mind.
Don't cut that out. That's probably going to be my biggest laugh.
Peter, get your feet off the couch. What are you doing? What are your mum
I'm
think?
nervous, man. That's nerves. That's what it is. Hello, everybody. I'm not Phil Jupiters. I'm not Phil Kay. I'm not Rick Waller. They've got nice teeth.
Oh. His teeth are a bit tragic.
You're very nasty, man, you.
I am not nasty.
I don't know how you get away with it for all these
Peter,
years.
but he comes from a nice place. He comes from
Yeah. Who's? Why do you sit there? What's the point?
I know.
You come on and all he does is abuse you.
I know.
And that's your job.
And I can't get a word in.
My God.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be better off delivering free papers. You know, with a pram.
Yeah.
Penny of paper. Dump him in canal, take your money. Come sit up here, watch up. Come on.
No, I get told I'm
Come
not
on.
sitting
You can join us.
Right up. Is that a false flag? Yeah. Douglas Bader. Douglas Bader. Come on up. Come right up. Come right up. Come on. See that then?
Yeah, what?
Like crankies.
I think...
Hello, Ian. Hi.
I think we're eavesdropping on a special moment.
I know.
He's Peter Gay.
Hey.
Oh. I'll move back down. Give me room.
I've got loads of you on video at home and used to last resort.
Oh, so you are a bit of a strange bloke, because you tape, like, loads of stuff on TV, don't you?
I used to put a tape player in front of telly and tape TV things.
Why?
And then my mum shouting in the kitchen, Peter, your tea's ready, come on, get your tea. I'm like, I'm taping the theme from Tenko, woman. Do you have to?
Were you were a cinema projectionist once, weren't you?
No.
Well, pretend you were for the sake of this interview.
I was an usher.
So forgive me for being so far off the mark.
You don't.
You had a torch, you were working in a cinema.
I didn't have a torch.
Well,
I used to dream of having a torch. £2.40 an hour and all sweets you can eat. And then we had the only partially sighted dwarf projectionist in England who put the trailer for Showgirls up front of Pocahontas. I'll never forget that. A Saturday afternoon, and he said, Paul Verhoeven. And all these custody dads were like that. And I'm like, Alan, take it off, man. He said, it's Pocahontas, it's you. Showgirls. Hey, that were a good job. I used to stand at top of steps and they'd have standees, cardboard standees, and you'd just take Gene Hackman's head off and fan yourself. Put it back, you know. And tell people at ends of films when they were coming in. I didn't think Bruce Willis were a ghost. There you go, stream. There you go. End of 7. I think it'd be already in a box. There you go, screen 3. Enjoy the film.
But because you came to stand up quite late, didn't you? You had a lot of proper jobs.
I had a lot of proper jobs, and then people always used to say, you know, you should have a go at stand-up, but, you know, them's your dreams. And then I did, and you know, next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire.
But you...
That's TV theme. You see who it's in.
Yeah.
Once it's in, it's not coming out,
It's
son.
stuck in there.
It's in there.
But you know you can buy albums with themes on now and
Yeah,
CD.
but they're all them, and you buy them and you get it home and there's something, orchestra of Germany, and you're like, oh, what a frigging rip-off. I want the proper themes like you get off the television.
And what's your favourite theme?
Van der Valk. I used to work with, you know what's the theme from Van der Valk called?
It's called the theme from Van der Valk.
No, it's not, it's got a name.
Eye Level.
Eye Level. Eye Level. And I used to work with a manager at Cash and Carry, and I was putting some stuff out on shelves, and he come over and he said, whoa. Eye Level is buy level. If they can't see it, they can't buy it. And I said, Eye Level is the theme tune to Van der Valk. Stick your job up your ass, I said.
I used to work at a place called Morgan's Food Fair.
Yeah.
Many years ago, and the cat used to sleep on the ham. The cat used to sleep on the ham, and you know the ham, you know you have the big old boiled hams, you put in a zit, and I used to fear for my fingers, but I used to love it really.
I've got a joke about
it. It was
that.
dangerous, but exciting at the same time, and you were helping the elderly, because they liked it cut quite thin. I'd do it wafer thin for one of the old ladies. But often, though, there'd be a few cat hairs on it. And the manager, Mr. Morgan, used to go, doesn't matter. And he used to take an old cloth and used to wipe it clean. And the same cloth that he used to wipe the floor with. But you know, because you do the stand-up, but you're a talented comic actor. There's a film out 24-Hour Party People, which you're terrific in.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, and you're great in it.
I like that film. I didn't like it first time I saw it because I watched it with Susan, my wife, and I'm at the back of a van with two prostitutes. And I didn't know about that. I didn't read my scripts. They come at me with these coloured thongs. Said, put these. I said, what for? They went, very funny. And they went, no, for the... And I read it. And you know, if you get a script, you just read your line. You don't read the directions.
Yeah, like I would ever get a script.
Well, you might do. You know, no. Might bring carry-ons back. So I get this and I read it and, you know... And next thing I went back of a transit van.
So you're trying to tell us that you didn't read the fact in the script. This is just an elaborate alibi for your wife at home.
Michael Winterbottom...
You didn't know you had a nude scene with two strippers in the back of a van, you liar.
Yeah, but you watched I didn't take anything off because I thought my mum was going to go mad here.
But you must be happy making TV now more than just about anyone else I know, because you actually make... You
I
can
like
choose
the
your
link
own
there.
themes. But you know, but it's interesting for me to see someone who's obviously grown up and one would have written you off. Let's face it, when you were living at home with your mum, we would have said, that guy's a loser forever.
Yeah,
you were a big-time loser.
And
in a nice way.
Yes.
Really?
But now...
Now?
F*** 'em. I'm here. I'm coming.
You are?
Getting my mum a bungalow. And then I'm out this business.
But you know what I want to say is before we do, Phoenix Nights, which I loved.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Can I just say, Jonathan? I'll tell you something. I'm the only person who's been on a chat show to chat. I've nothing to plug. I'm in a garden centre and I'm here. I'm doing nothing. I'm signing on. Well, I've nothing to plug.
Well, don't spoil it.
No.
We were all enjoying it until you started moaning about it.
No, I'm having a good time.
Well, let's think of something to plug. Are you doing a live tour again at some time?
70 nights I'm doing, I'll get a bit of weight off.
Well, there you go.
I know.
The weight's not an issue for you, though, is it?
No. Till I saw myself on that. Oh, gee.
Yeah, but you're not meant to be good looking, but a bloke out of EastEnders, he needs to go on a diet.
Oh, you're all right.
Oh, hold it. All right. You know who he looked like then?
To Dr. Lake.
He looked like Alvin Stardust.
He does, doesn't he? Alvin Stardust.
It's Alvin Stardust. Yeah. When he was pointing, he was like, who's that dancing in the red dress? I want her for a lover, now get her up, get her up.
That's what he must do now.
He could do Stars in Her Eyes.
Is he left EastEnders or is he still in?
He's still in for now, but when they see this show, he'll be out.
That'll be it. Back
Get
at stage.
a slim bloke in. Peter, thank you for coming on the show.
It's so, hey, like that.
Hey, look, and some of this.
Yo.
Yeah,
That's it.
now we're down with the brothers.
Hey, come on.
Is that what they do in Bolton, then? Is that
Give me five. Too slow. No.
I got you.
Yeah, no, it didn't work. Come on.
I've got an 8-year-old. I know how to do that. But if you want to be adopted, there's room at home for you.
Hey, I'd love to come and live with you. That's it. But that could be a new reality show.
Yeah, could you...
Pete moves in with Jonathan. Like Alf.
Alan Williams. Thank God we have no more time.
Sorry.
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Peter.
Rosemary! You're staying there. You're staying
You
there.
can stay and enjoy the music. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks to all our guests tonight. Of course, we had Casey Ainsworth and Alex Fern, to me, Stenders on earlier, Donald McIntyre and, of course, Peter Kay. We're not here next week, so join me on May the 10th when I'll be joined by the legendary Sir John Mills and the mighty Ozzy Osbourne. But now, please welcome the fantastic Sugar Babes with Freak Like Me.
Inside, and you know that a man is gonna do with it. I don't care what they say. I'm not about to pay nobody's way, 'cause it's all about the dog in me. Ooh. I want a freak in the morning, a freak in the evening, just a man. Love not love that can satisfy me. So just for me, if you are the kind of man, I'm the kind of girl. I've got a freaky secret. Everybody's saying 'cause we don't give a damn about a thing. So I'll be a freak until the day, until the dawn. A weekend all through the night to the early morn. Come on and I will take you around the hood on against the lead. 'Cause we can any time of day. It's all good for me. Boy, you're moving kind of slow. You gotta keep it up now, there you go. That's just one thing that a man must do. I'm packing all the flavors you need. I got you shook up on